Before we can get into the Odyssey, we actually have to understand that Homer uses an important aspect of Greek mythology. That aspect is oral tradition or oral history. With oral history, he's not looking at a history book like we would look at a textbook, but he's sitting at a festival or a party, and this party would last for days and days, and it would be a national celebration like 4th of July, or it would be to honor the gods. And in this celebration, the bard would sing a song and would reminisce about times gone by for the Greeks. And this is how the Greek children would learn the history. With the Odyssey, he tells us some Greek history, and it starts all about the family of Atreus. Atreus was one of the Greek kings, and he had his brother named Thyestes. Together, they ruled Greece. Now, Atreus had hot wife number 1, and man, was she hot. Atreus was like, yeah, look at my wife. Look at my wife. Thyestes, he had hot wife number 2. Thyestes is like, oh no, man, my wife is the best. Look at my wife. They had Yum 1, Yum 2, and a little bitty baby, Agasthus. Hot wife number 2 had just born Agasthus. So she's tired and she's like, man, I've got 3 kids. Let me just calm down a little bit. Well, Thyestes gets bored with hot wife number 2, so he skips across the hall, batchika-wow, with hot wife number 1. Atreus and hot wife number 1, they had 2 kids. They have Menelaus and Agamemnon. Menelaus and Agamemnon actually play a vital role in the Odyssey. If it weren't for them, the Greeks would have never been overseas, according to mythology. They would have never invaded Troy. So it's really important that we understand these 2 guys are crucial. Menelaus is married to the most beautiful woman, Helen of Sparta. We know her as Helen of Troy, but that comes into play later. Agamemnon, he's married to a woman, Clytemnestra. And together they have Iphigenia and Orestes. Now here's where the story gets good. Thyestes had skipped across the hall to batchika-wow with hot wife number 1. Atreus finds out about it and he says, brother dear, you are the best brother ever. See, because he didn't tell Thyestes, I knew you slept with my wife. He just says, you're the best brother ever. Can we have a barbecue dinner? For me? You want to have a barbecue dinner for me? I'll meet you on the rooftop at 7. So Atreus, sure enough, he gets his barbecue dinner ready. And man, do they have some delicious spare ribs. Thyestes doesn't know about this. Hot wife number 2 doesn't know about this, but a servant found out about it, and so she carried Agasthus away. Well, he was baby back ribs, and they wanted barbecue spare ribs. So Atreus was really okay with it. He was too little. He couldn't get much meat off those bones. But right after Thyestes found out about Yum 1 and Yum 2, he curses his brother's household and then slits his throat. Hot wife number 2 does the same thing. Now in Greek mythology, if you curse someone, you're calling down the anger of the fates. You're calling down the anger of the Furies and of the gods. So that's a really big deal. So Thyestes curses Atreus' household. And he says, you got my sons, I curse your sons. And that's where this really comes into play. Menelaus seems to be a lucky guy. He's got a gorgeous, buxomy blonde. But she runs away with Paris from Troy and causes the whole Trojan War. So that's Menelaus' curse. Agamemnon, he's powerful, he's rich, he's got a gorgeous wife, He's living the happy life. His curse, remember baby back spare ribs? He comes back and says, oh, cousin, please, I love you. Could you please just let me be a servant in your household? I'll scrub your toilets. I'll scoop the mud off your floor. I'll do anything you want. Agamemnon says, all right, you pig. Sure, you can scrub the floors. I'll let you do that. And then he sails off to war. But what about these two kids here? Remember, he's been cursed. There's no wind. He can't make it to Troy. So he gets a special ship. And he loads up pretty Iphigenia. Iphigenia, do you want to meet your bride, your husband? You want to be a bride? Oh, Daddy, I would love to be a bride. All right, honey, here's your ship. But he needs wind. So what does he do? He sets the ship on fire. And there goes Iphigenia. Now, how does she feel about that? Oh, she's mad. She's angry. So she curses her husband. Now remember, he's already got one curse. Now he's got another. He's gone for 10 years for the Trojan War. In that 10 years, Aegisthus and Clytemnestra kind of about to go out. And they kind of link up. How can we kill Agamemnon? The day he arrives home from war with all of his war booty, his gold and his girls, they kill him. Aegisthus is standing behind a curtain, and Clytemnestra, oh honey, I love you, and shoves him up against the curtain, and he's stabbed in the heart, and the curse is fulfilled. We need to know this because in books 1, 3, and 4, Homer alludes to this whole story. So if we don't catch this, then we don't know what he's referencing. And even later again, Odysseus references Agamemnon. And we have Menelaus in book 3 telling about this. So it's really crucial that we understand this whole oral tradition of family history.